client, and this is exactly how I want you to do any hair, yeah? So, we first start with finding out what the client wants, working out how much he wants of, and things like this, yeah? So, with our client today, he booked in for a 1 fade, but he actually wanted a 2. But we're going to do a 1 fade today, just because that's what I need to show you guys. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to do a low 1 fade, just so it's not too short for the client. But I've already promised him he's going to be happy, so it doesn't matter. So let's say we don't know any of that. We ask our consultation. We say in our consultation to the client, would you like a high, medium, or low fade? And that basically means if you look at from the width from the ear to the curvature here, where it comes to the top, that's your sort of section where you judge if it's a high, medium, or low. And normally, medium tends to be right here with the second recession point, yeah? Obviously, if someone's sides are quite long, that may not be the middle, yeah? So you judge it on that. So as I can see here, to me, that is where I would say midway is, because it's right in between both of them, yeah? If you want a low fade, I would tend to take it just to this point here, just above the ear. So you've got a little bit of a section here, yeah? And obviously high would probably be around there. And the reason why I'm not going to do a high all the way up here is because we still need space to blend in our fade, yeah? So obviously if I went with a high fade all the way up here, then I'm going right into the curvature and I've got no space to blend my hair, yeah? So we want to take it slightly down with a high fade, so we've got a little bit of a gap to blend in, yeah? That's what we call our fade zone. So because we're going to go with a low fade today, we've got a fade zone to work with, yeah? So, any haircut you do that is below a 2, you always start with a 2 to get your weight out, yeah? So if it's a 1.5, a 1, a half, a 0, it's always starting with a 2 to get that weight out, yeah? So, also guys, when you are going through your consultation, you always pick up from the apex a section of hair to judge how much the client wants. Do we know why we do that?
It's typically the longest.
It's your true length, yeah? That's your true guide because it's the highest point of the head, yeah? So for instance, if I picked up from here and said, oh, do you want that much off? The most common thing you get from a client is, no, I want a little bit more off the back, but I want a little bit less off the front. Where if I picked up right from here, and I said, do you want that much? I know my front's going to be slightly longer anyway, yeah? Because we're still going to go straight, but naturally, because of you know, the shape of the head and how far down the hair grows, you know, it's going to be slightly longer anyway, yeah? So, on the top, would you like to take off maybe about that much? Is that all right? Yes, can we all see that?
Yep.
Perfect. And with your hair, do you have a parting? Sometimes, yeah? So would you like me to put a parting in to make a disconnection, yeah? Perfect. So guys, you've heard the word disconnection, yeah? A disconnection, we will go more in depth when we have a demo for it, but basically a disconnection is when the hair's parted from the side to the top. So it could be a full disconnection all the way around where you get the top knots, or you can have just a parting. That's one disconnection, yeah? So what that means is whenever we have a disconnection, we always part the hair away from our fade zone, yeah? If I wanted to connect it, I would comb everything into our fade zone. And the reason that is why with a disconnection we don't comb everything into our fade zone is because all what's going to happen is I'm going to come up with my clippers, start taking all that weight out, and then suddenly when I want to part it, it's going to be too short here. Yeah? And it won't go over. Yeah? And when we do a disconnection, it's the same way of, you know where we part it for our horseshoe? We go from the recession point, exactly the same place, yeah? The only time you do it different is if the client says, oh, I naturally like it a little bit higher or lower, yeah? So, knowing that he's got a part in there, how are we going to cut the top? Are we going to do it square, round, both? What are we going to do? Do we know? Have a look at his hair, guys.
Square. I think square.
Square, yeah? You can do square or square to round. Whenever there's a disconnection on any side, we always go square. Reason why is because we need the weight, yeah? Because we're not going to have anything below it to hold it up, yeah? So we always need this to be square to have the weight to go over, yeah? On these sides, we can also go square, but the most common, what you find, is a lot of people tend to go round because they're having it over to the side where it's going to sit back into the side, yeah? If, for instance, the client wanted it coming slightly back, I would definitely go square to square, yeah? What are you looking for, Baz? Huh? Bugs.
You can have mine. I don't need one.
I need one.
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
Because I've got two up there. Oh, two probably.
Oh yeah,
I'll give it to him in a minute.
Don't worry, it's fine. So let's carry on. So, we can go for square or square to round, yeah?
No, when you say square to round or square to square, you're talking about one side of the head to the other?
Yes, side to side I'm talking about. So, you know we put our profile line in? We take our profile line, put it over to one side, and we start cutting the top, yeah? So one section, at the moment as we can see, it is already being cut round, yeah? So that's one side. Once I pick this side up, the other side of our profile line, you can see it's square, yeah? So now when it comes to the back, for me, I'm gonna cut this round, and I can see it's already been cut round. Reason why is because I don't really need weight at the back. If, for instance, the client was having his hair swept all the way back and I needed that length, then I may go square. But at the same time, it's not, you don't always need square on the back. It's more for, you know, if people are trying to keep weight on the back, or let's say they have a funny crown where like a double crown when it decides to stand up all the time. That's sort of when you may need to go for like a square on the back, yeah? So, knowing all that now, guys, we definitely check to feel if the client needs a wash, yeah? As I can feel already that the client has product in his hair. But if you could not feel any product or anything like that, I would still always say to the client, when did you wash your hair? Was it today or was it yesterday? If they ever say that it was yesterday or before that, I would always wash it, always, yeah? Because the hair gets really greasy and it makes it harder for you to cut the hair properly, yeah? So for me, I can tell that I need to wash this client's hair because it's got product in it. But at this moment in time, I can feel that it's not really much on the sides. So what I could do first is get the sides out of the way, then wash it, then cut the top. Yeah? So.
Before I have a question.
Yeah?
There are two. You can do two kinds of disconnections.
Yeah?
Yes. Last week I did a round disconnection.
Yes.
And you don't ask him, or
you do?
Yeah.
That would be more in the demo when I do the disconnection haircut for you. But for this haircut, what I am going to do is I'm going to come up square. Reason why is because I can see he has a little bit of length there, as you can see. So he doesn't have it cut all the way up, yeah? So, just give me 1 second, guys. I just need to adjust these clippers. Always check your clippers to see if they're cutting, yeah? This is the most sensitive part here. So if you come across it, you can tell if it's biting at all. If it's biting, it needs to be adjusted. But they're fine, I just need to adjust the other bit.